What's going on, guys? My name is Ted, and the gameplay in the background is going to be a 101 kill, 3 death demolition on Dome. Hope you guys enjoy that. I'm using a pretty average setup, overused guns, things like that. It's not really a way I could get a great score like this. Hope you guys enjoy the gameplay in the background. But I'm not going to talk about MW3 today. The topic of the day is going to be Black Ops 2. And you know my thoughts on this normally are I wait for the game to come out before I start discussing it. But today was a big day. I thought I'd go over a little bit of what I know so far. Today was the Black Ops 2 multiplayer reveal, and if you missed it, I'll throw a link down below. Go check it out. The official Call of Duty website released it, so it's not, a leaked information. This is legit stuff, and everything. They always do these reveals so that they put it in as much as they can into 2 minutes. So it's just really quick, really fast. You don't really know what's going on unless you pause it frame by frame, which, trust me, some people do. And here's my thoughts on it. The game looks fun. The game looks just like Call of Duty is supposed to look. It looks entertaining and action-packed. And until the perk list gets released, until the game objectives and the guns and things like that, until the full list gets released, and until I see some actual gameplay footage of a full gameplay playing through, not just clips of a million different gameplays, I really can't give an opinion. Everyone in the comment section of the video was saying, oh, it looks horrible, or oh, it looks fantastic, and I'm like, how can you tell? Like, all I could tell from the gameplay that I saw was the graphics. You could tell the HUD, or the heads-up display, which is like your Killstreaks selection, your equipment, and all that stuff. You could tell how that looked and things like that, and that was really cool. The HUD looked a little bit cooler than normal, and a little bit different, which is what they always do in Call of Duty. But you couldn't tell much about the actual gameplay. You couldn't tell very much about the maps. You couldn't tell very much about the guns and how powerful things were. There was no sense of balance in the game at all because you can't tell which guns are going to be better. And all they do in the trailer is just show you a bunch of random clips and just hope that you get excited about it. And hey, sorry, my phone went off there. I'm excited. I'm always excited about the new Call of Duty. I don't care whether it's cannibalism Call of Duty and you just go around eating people. I think Call of Duty could make it fun, or Treyarch or Infinity Ward could do a good job at it. But I like Treyarch more than Infinity Ward, personal preference, and everyone's got their own opinions. And I think Treyarch will do a very good job. I'm going to play the game endlessly, no matter how bad it is, just because it's the new Call of Duty. And I'm probably going to end up liking the game. They spend 2 years working on these things. They're not just going to make a piece of shit. Some people will disagree with me on that. I'm sure some people will just say that every Call of Duty is horrible. But in that case, why are you watching a Call of Duty video right now? There's always going to be haters in the world. I'm very optimistic. Whenever I have something I'm looking forward to, I always try to have the most optimistic view that I can on it. Until about a full year into the game, like Modern Warfare 2 is coming in, or I'm sorry, Modern Warfare 3's almost at its 1 year mark now. I can give a very thorough analysis on this game of Modern Warfare 3, and if I had to give it a report card, if I had to give it between a 0 to a 100, I'd say MW3, in my opinion, don't hate on me, I'd say MW3 had about a 90. I think the game was very good. The main stellar problem, in my opinion, with the game, I guess the two main problems, was the spawns were never quite good. The spawn system was always a little bit in need of fix, let's put it that way. And they did fix it occasionally, but they never really did a good job. And the other problem I had was that some guns, the gun variety wasn't very good. There was always these guns that would just stand out as the best typical gun. I think MW2 had a great job at gun variety because of stopping power. All the guns were very useful because all the guns with stopping power would be about the same damage per second and about the same power. Whereas in MW3 you've got the ACR, the MP7, and the Type 95 that really just ran as the top best guns, and I'd say 75% of the players use about 5% of the guns. It's not the way it's supposed to be. In MW2 you had a large variety of guns. Although the UMP45 was the best, you had a large variety of guns being used. That's kind of the way I like seeing. I like seeing a large variety of guns being used, and it wasn't that way. And I hope to see that in Black Ops 2. I think the best thing about Call of Duty is that every single Call of Duty is something entirely different, an entirely different experience. And I'd say the thing I'm most looking forward to in Black Ops 2 is the time frame. In the past we've seen World War II, we've seen modern warfare, but now we have futuristic warfare. 2025, it's 15 years in the future, and this really leaves their palette of inventiveness and creativeness completely unhampered. They can go as crazy as they want. They can have it so that every single gun you have is a one-bullet kill, no matter what range, and they can just do whatever they want. Every gun can have no recoil. You can have a lot of health. Maybe it takes 6 bullets to kill, but now your guns are very accurate and very mobile. They can do whatever they want because it's futuristic. Anything can happen in the future, especially with the rate of technology changes right now. Anything can happen in the future, and I'd love to see them really expand on that, and I hope they did. As far as the trailer that I saw goes, 2 minutes, I really couldn't tell very much, but it did look fun. It looked action-packed. The only problems that I had with the trailer was I saw a lot of air support, and I don't want to be another MW2 with just air support madness. I saw a lot of drones all over the place. It seemed every single clip had these little drones in them, these little quad rotors, which is the little four kind of square things with 4 cylinder. I don't know what the hell it's called. Anyways, 4 little winged shits on them. And it seemed every single clip had these quad rotors all over it. And I don't want the game to have more air support than guns. I think that was a huge problem in Modern Warfare 2, was you had so much air support at past the halfway mark of the game that it was no longer gun-on-gun action. It was, air support versus the poor little souls on the other team, that weren't running cold-blooded. And it seemed like also in MW2, one thing that I will give it is that it had the lack of stealth perks. Even when there was air support supremacy in that game, everyone still stuck to the stopping power perks because it was better than cold-blooded. In Black Ops and in Modern Warfare 3, it seemed the stealth perks were a little bit unbalanced and a little bit too dominant. Treyarch said in an interview, David Vonderhaar over Twitter and Reddit, twice he noted that Black Ops 2 is supposed to be the most rusher-friendly gameplay. And I'll take Wings of Redemption's opinion on this. I'm calling bullshit. Because every single Call of Duty, I can go back to COD fucking 5, every single Call of Duty, they have said this will be the least camper-happy Call of Duty. There'll be no campers. It's just going to be everyone rushing around. And it's just bullshit. They only say that to make everyone happy. There will still be stealth perks in the game. Now, granted, they might be a little bit more counterable than they were in this game. But there's always going to be stealth perks in the game. And because of their stealth perks in the game, there's always going to be people that are going to use those stealth classes. And as far as Wings of Redemption said in a commentary last night that I was watching, he had a very good point in that with this new perk system, I don't know if you've heard about this, but there's a new perk system in Modern Warfare 3 where it's going to be a point system for your equipment, for your perks, for your guns, and I think you have 10 points if I'm not mistaken, and perks are going to be a certain number of points. I assume stealth perks will be more costly point-wise than normal perks like Sleight of Hand, because it seems like Ghost or Assassin is much more important and potent than Sleight of Hand is. So I'd hope that they'd classify not all perks to be on the same point level. Rather, some perks, like the stealth perks, cost more points. That way they're a much less chosen perk, because that would be good. Also, I want to see the perks split up more. I want to see it so you can't have complete air support resistance, like you can't be resistant to spy planes and air support all at once. I'd rather see it so you can only be resistant to a couple of those things. And as far as the points for the secondary weapons and for the primary weapons, they're going to give you a primary weapon for free. They're going to give you one primary weapon for free. But if you want additional primary weapons, it costs you points extra for those. So in all honesty, I don't ever use my secondary. I always put an extended mag on my primary and just stick with that. So I think that I'm just going to have a primary and then a bunch of perks. And I don't know how many perks you can get for those 10 points. Hopefully like 2 or 3 at least, just for you starting off with. And I also like to see how they're going to incorporate specialists into the game, because I'm not sure about that. I do love the specialist bonus. It's probably, well, it is my single favorite addition to Modern Warfare 3. I don't really care about the support packages. Those were nice and fine and dandy. But the specialist is what really struck home with me. I loved getting all the perks in the game. I love just feeling like that ultimate badass that can just roam the map and do whatever you want to do. And I hope they bring that back in Modern Warfare 3, into Black Ops 2. I mean, the other thing I'm really hoping for, and this is something that I was really, really saddened to see and the removal of in Modern Warfare 3, was the Blackbird. I absolutely love the Blackbird. There was no counter to it. And if you know me and you know my opinions on things, I love kill streaks and I love perks that have absolutely no counter to them. That's why I love SitRep Pro so much, because there's absolutely no counter to it anymore. No matter what perks the other team has on, if I have SitRep Pro on, I'll be able to hear them coming. And that's a huge, huge advantage. If you go back to Black Ops 1, the original Black Ops, they had dogs and they had Blackbirds, both which were uncounterable. The dogs you could still shoot and it would kill them, but they had a lot of health, and they were they killed you in one shot. So it was very unlikely that you were going to be able to take out the dog before it would take you out. And as far as the Blackbird went in Black Ops, there was nothing you could do about it. If the other team had a Blackbird up, you just had to hope and pray that they didn't know how to use their radar, because if they did, you're fucked. There was absolutely no way you could sneak up on someone if they know how to use their radar and they have a Blackbird up on the other team. And that's what I loved about Black Ops. I liked things that are so powerful, and you earn them. Now, granted, 8 and 11 kill streaks are not the easiest to come by. I do think that you earn Blackbirds and dogs at those high of kill streaks for a reason. They're not just given to you, and I think that they're definitely balanced. And I'd like to see that return in Black Ops 2. I love these ultra powerful kill streaks, but not so much. I don't really like the helicopters and the AC-130s raining down Doom. I really don't like that. I like things that do work for me. I like Pavlos. I'm notorious for running the attack helicopter, the AH-6 Overwatch, and the Pavlos because they do the work for me. They're like an extra gun on my team. I don't have to do anything but call them in, and that's what I love. Same with the dogs, same with the UAVs. All those unmanned air support kill streaks that just do help for you, the UAVs and Blackbirds, they give you radar benefits. They don't actually get you kills. But technically they are lethal because they're going to get you extra kills along the way. And I like to see the return of those. I like to see the UAV be a higher kill streak. I think I've hit home on this a couple of times. I want to see the UAV be like a 6 or 7 kill streak and make there be no counter to it. I think the UAV would be perfectly balanced if there was no counter to it and it was like a 6 or 7 kill streak. I think that would be perfect. And then maybe make the Blackbird be like a 13 kill streak. I think that would be the most balanced. I've actually put a lot of thought into this. It seems like I'm just making random shit off the top of my head. I've actually put a lot of thought back into this back in the Black Ops days. And I do think the Blackbird was a little bit too easy to get in regular Black Ops. But I think that it should be like a 12 or 13 kill streak with hardline or not. And I think that it should be uncounterable. I love those uncounterable kill streaks. It seems to me that if I piece together 15 kills and I get an Osprey chopper gunner or a regular chopper gunner, whatever they have in the next Black Ops 2, I want to see it have a time frame where it can't be shot down. Because it's all too common and all too often that I'll be calling in my chopper gunner ready to just shit on the other team, and 3 kids with a blind eye assassin and a stinger missile will take me out in no time. And I don't like that. I don't like having to work so hard or piece together these kill streaks just to have them shot down instantly. And I think that it also made it unbalanced in that everyone started running specialist. So let me know your thoughts and opinions. I know everyone's got their own thoughts and opinions. What do you think of the trailer? If you haven't watched it, go check it out down below. If you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe. Post high quality content every single day. Final score of this game was 103 kills and 2 deaths, or 101 kills and 3 deaths. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.